I give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakat Kodash. Double honors unto our apostle elders that rule Great Millstone Well, which is teaching Israel the truth, which taught me the truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect and the nation of Israel. Wa Abba Babal. This is Isaiah 41 in the NLT, and it's about the Israelites receiving a promise of comfort, though they were being told they were going to go into captivity. This is mainly talking to the southern kingdom. Isaiah is prophesying of captivity under the Assyrian Babylonian, and then eventually redemption. They would come out of Babylon and go back into Jerusalem, which later the Messiah will come and be crucified, died, and resurrected. All right. So it says in Isaiah 41, verse 8, "But as for you, Israel, my servant, Jacob, my chosen one, descended from Abraham, my friend, I have called you back from the ends of the earth, saying, you are my servant, for I have chosen you and will not throw you away." And that still stands today. That's why the Lord, He doesn't allow us to be overcome, as it says in Malachi 3, and I'll get it in the KJV in verse 6. "For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." That's why we're able to survive, even though they're poisoning our food, poisoning our water, poisoning our air. And we remember ourselves, even though they try to poison our minds. All right, in the NLT it says, "I am Yahweh, and I change, and I do not change. That is why you descendants of Jacob," the sons of Jacob are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world in slavery, are not already destroyed, because they're trying to destroy us, the so-called white race, Esau, Edom, the red devil the Bible speaks of, and the other nations which are confederate with the so-called white race against the Israelites. It says in Isaiah 41, verse 9, once again I'm in the NLT, it says, "I have called you back from the ends of the earth," which were in America, the other end of the earth from our home. The home of the Israelite is the promised land, the holy land of Israel, which today in 2026, the year of apostasy and Jacob's trouble, there are counterfeits in the Holy Land, the tiny tops, big nose bastards of Ashdod. It says, saying, "You are my servant, for I have chosen you and will not throw you away." Once again, Yahweh does not change, and this is why He sent Yahweh Shai as the Messiah to pay the price with the blood of His body being sacrificed for the sake of Israel, being that He was an Israelite. He didn't come as an Edomite, the Messiah. He didn't come as a Hamite. He didn't come as an Ammonite. He didn't come as a Moabite. He didn't come as any other nation. He came as an Israelite, because salvation is only for the Israelites and not even all Israel at this moment. It says, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your power. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand," Yahweh Shai. "See all your angry enemies lie there, confused and humiliated. Anyone who opposes you will die and come to nothing." And that's why these other nations are really nothing. All right, 2 Ezra 6. And verse 57, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, the other nations, starting with that so-called white race, the red devil the Bible speaks of, which have ever been reputed as nothing. They've always been nothing. They're nothing. They'll never be greater than the Israelites in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which shows you that they're not part of the covenant, the new covenant or the old covenant. All right. It says, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and devour us, which the Lord's going to devour them for what they've done unto us. It says in Isaiah 41:12, you will look in vain for those who try to conquer you. Those who attack you will come to nothing, which all the nations are confederate against the elect. Psalm 83 says in verse 1, a song or psalm of Asaph, which this is a prophecy of the elect in the future, which we're living that life today. Keep not thou silence, O Elohim, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Elohim. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, which they're plotting against us, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head, the so-called white race, the red devil the Bible speaks of, Esau, Edom, is coming down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, the Israelites, and consulted against thy hidden ones, Judah. They call us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So they want to try to murder us to stop us from remembering who we are. Their whole system is set up to deceive you, Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which been scattered throughout the world in slavery. It says, for they have consulted together with one consent, talking about the other nations. That's why they have a UN in America. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called American white people, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, which you have different forms of Ishmaelites, which are known as Arabs in the continent of Asia, and the Hagarenes, which are another form of Ishmael. Gabal, which is a Edomite that is in the Holy Land, and Ammon, the Japanese, and Amalek, the tiny tops, big-nosed bastards in Ashdod, Edomites, and Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, the Africans. All right? They're confederate with the Edomites and the other nations against the Israelites. Ashur, the Assyrian, also is joined with them. They have Hopen, the sons of Lot, Selah. So the Lord's going to fight for us. All right? But these nations are confederate against us. And they devour us. All right? It says in Isaiah 41 verse 12, you will look in vain for those who try to conquer you. Those who attack you will come to nothing. For I hold you by your right hand, by Yahushai. I, Yahweh, your power, and I say to you, don't be afraid. I am here to help you. Though you are a lowly worm, O Jacob, talking to the Israelites that believe in his son Yahushua at this time. Back then, he was talking to the Israelites of the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which were going to go into Babylonian captivity and come out and go back into Jerusalem. It says, I am Yahweh, your Redeemer. I am the Holy One of Israel. So this promise still is with us, though we're in Babylon the Great. we're going to go back to the promised land as he has promised us. You will be a new threshing instrument with many sharp teeth. You will tear your enemies apart, making chaff of mountains of their societies. Their elite are going to go first into captivity. You will toss them into the air, and the wind will blow them away. A whirlwind will scatter them. Then you will rejoice in Yahweh, which Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai has ordained these heathen to be punished under the Israelite. And then the Edomite will be made extinct after their punishment. Then you will rejoice in Yahweh. You will glory in the Holy One of Israel. When the poor and needy search for water and there is none, and their tongues are parched from thirst, then I, Yahweh, will answer them. I, the power of Israel, will never abandon them. See, so we're not abandoned in 2026. We're not forsaken. All right? It says, I will open up rivers for them on the high plateaus. I will give them fountains of water in the valleys. I will fill the desert with pools of water, rivers fed by springs will flow across the parched ground. I will plant trees in the barren desert, cedar, acacia, myrtle, olive, cypress, fir, and pine, which we're going to get the kingdom back, the promised land. The kingdom of heaven will be on earth in the Holy Land. We will be put back into the Holy Land. Isaiah 14 and 1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them through the internet. They're joining to us, the Israelites, and with them they shall cleave to the house of Jacob in worship of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai as an Israelite. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, the heathen that have devoured us, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, which we're going to pay you back for what you've done unto us. That's a God-given right. And our God is Yahweh, and it's all made possible through his son, Yahushua. And we know this by the Holy Spirit. It says in verse 20, I am doing this so all who see this miracle will understand what it means, that it is Yahweh who has done this, the Holy One of Israel who created it to play out this way. But we're going to be delivered from our oppression, and the oppressor is going to be put under us in captivity. Present the case for your idols. It says, present the case for your idols, says Yahweh. Let them show what they can do, says the King of Israel. Let them try to tell us what happened long ago, right? Show us the history so we know the mystery. But they can't do it. The idols of the heathen are nothing. This is why they are nothing. So that we may consider the evidence, or let them tell us what the future holds, which Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai shows the prophets what he's doing, because we are as sons through the Holy Spirit. The false idols of the heathen are nothing, because they are nothing. It says, so we can know what's going to happen, but we have a sure word of prophecy. It says, yes, tell us what will occur in the days ahead, then we will know you are gods. In fact, do anything, good or bad. Do something that will amaze and frighten us. But no, you are less than nothing and can do nothing at all. Those who chose you pollute themselves. See? So the idols of the heathen are nothing, making the heathen nothing. And the Lord said that they are nothing. All right? It says, verse 25, but I have stirred up a leader who will approach from the north. From the east he will call on my name. I will give him victory over kings and princes. He will trample them as a potter treads on clay, which is Yahushai. Yahweh is going to send Yahushai back to save the Israelite. Who told you from the beginning it says that this would happen? Who predicted this, making you admit that he was right? No one said a word. Verse 27, I was the first to tell Zion, look, help is on the way. I will send Jerusalem a messenger with good news. So he sends Israel with prophets, right? Israel has been filled with prophets. No other nation has prophets like Israel because they're not in the prophecies receiving promises. The other nations are condemned by these prophecies. That's why it says in 2 Ezra 16. Second Ezra 16, it says in verse 1, woe be unto thee, Babylon in Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand, which the Lord's going to punish the heathen. Obadiah verse 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, which they have devoured his people. It shall be done unto thee, thy reward shall return upon thine own head. See? So their punishment is near, and we're about to receive the heathen and the world as a reward of remaining faithful in the trials and tribulations that are as a furnace of adversity for the Israelite. It says in verse 28 of Isaiah 41, not one of your idols told you this, not one gave any answer when I asked, right? Because they worship idols of gold and silver that do not speak, can't even save themselves. It says, see, they are all foolish, worthless things. All your idols are as empty as the wind. So these heathen are up shit's creek without a paddle, as they say in the world. All right, so it's an idiom. It says up shit's creek without a paddle is an American idiom meaning to be in a very difficult, inescapable, or hopeless situation, typically without the resources needed to solve it. See? So Esau and these other nations are up shit's creek without a paddle. They're screwed. All right? And the Lord's going to destroy them with their idols, which are nothing. They are nothing. They are less than nothing. But the elect, we are the apple of the Lord's eye as the Israelites that are going to be preserved as the remnant to start it all over and bring our people back. All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Ha-Rakat Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone wow, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, wa abababal.